Well, guys, today it's Monday. Today has not gone as planned at all. It's been a typical trucking day. Actually, this all started on Saturday. Saturday, I arrived at the shop to get an oil leak fixed. Check in at the shop, and they're told there was no appointment made. They had no idea what I was talking about. They said, check in with the shop with the shop manager Monday. So I did, first thing this morning. Same thing. So we finally got a hold of somebody to schedule the maintenance on the truck. And they said, oh, nope, we can't do it today because we have to do a overhead. Well, we fixed the oil leak. Let's do an overhead. So, as a consequence of that, I lost a very good paying load. Happy about it? No, not in the least. But it's trucking. And in the course of all this, we found out that the email that wasn't sent to the shop fell in the lap of my fleet manager. He owned up to it and he apologized for it. So, how do you respond? I'm going to ask you guys, drivers out there, and other people in other jobs, other industries, how do you respond when things like this happen? What kind of reputation are you setting? What kind of legacy with your workplace are you leaving? I mean, did you get angry? Holler and cuss and fuss and blame them and make threats and, just act a fool? Or do you keep a level head? My response to this guy was, no worries, it's trucking. Things happen. It's a Monday. When some of these issues came up and we were making a decision to reapply for permits to reroute the load up to the main shop, it was Friday afternoon. By the time we started getting these permits in, things happen. Sometimes a miscommunication. Again, not happy about it. What can I do about it? Nothing. So here's the thing. You got to live up to the reputation you're setting for yourself. If you claim you're something, you got to live up to it. You claim that you're a Christian. You claim that you're a laid-back person. You claim that you're easygoing. You claim that you're mature. You claim that you're experienced. Guys, you claim that you follow Jesus. All those things would say that when a situation like this happens, you keep a level head, even-keeled. You don't cuss and fuss people out. You roll with the punches. Nothing else you can do about it. You just got to live with it. So I'll tell you, set the example. Be who you claim to be. Don't claim to be something, and then when things fall apart and nothing happens like you had expected, and even when it's going to be a loss of income for you, don't show your tail. Don't be hot-headed. Don't make a big fuss. Don't be all over social media posting about how everybody's bad and this is a horrible place and these people are idiots. It doesn't do you any good. What do you think is going to happen next time something goes wrong? They're going to remember your behavior, right? It makes a difference on who's treated in certain ways. Now, is it a good idea to practice favoritism over with one person over another? Well, it's kind of like with your kids. You don't play favorites, but if you got one that's not always a problem, human nature says you're liable to be a little more lenient and tolerant and make more concessions for the one that gives you the least amount of trouble. Same thing in business. If you're constant trouble for your employer, if you're always a loudmouth, you're always complaining and fussing and causing discontent and making threats and just generally making a very tense environment when it doesn't need to be, especially when someone owns up to it was their mistake that caused it, and you're still going to show your tail and still act a fool and basically act like all these Antifa protesters, but you're doing it in the business environment, you're not likely to get taken care of. You're the one that's liable to get run out the door. They're going to find ways to convince you to leave. So, what I'm doing is, got another night here, me in the hotel. The truck won't be done till tomorrow afternoon, but they're already getting a load lined up. So, there's other people that are there that are having problems, and they've been mouthy and a problem. They're not going to get a load tomorrow afternoon. Doesn't matter their seniority. See, you got to set a reputation. You got to leave a legacy where you work. You can't claim to be something and then act the opposite and expect to be taken seriously. That's one of the biggest reasons that Christians in the West are well known, or I wouldn't say well known. Actually, They are. A lot of people that are unchurched will call Christians hypocrites because they talk about one thing but they do another. They do it at work. They do it all the time. They do it at the grocery store. They'll do it on the road. But you got to change that, guys. Come on now. You got to change it. You got to act different. You got to act like what you claim to be. You don't have to act like where you're from. You don't have to act like you're what your skin color and the stereotypes dictate. And you don't have to act like what your past would say you act like. But you do have to act like what you claim you are. You know, I claim to be a Christian, a follower of Jesus. I claim to be a mature, responsible adult that's a professional within my industry. You know, I also proudly wear the title of a veteran. You know, all those things would say that there was a certain way that I would be expected to act. And it's not always edifying or satisfying to me to act like that. I mean, there's times like today, sure, for a few moments I would have felt very good in the flesh to cuss my fleet manager out over this mistake. It wouldn't do me any good in the long run, guys. And you're probably going to carry the anger with you the rest of the day. You're going to be all worked up. All the stress hormone, it's going to release all the reactions up here in your brain. And I go back to my last 2 videos about what that does to your body. It doesn't do any good. Take a deep breath. Walk it off. Talk with somebody else who's good-natured. You know, sit down and read something or just find someplace quiet and just sit there for a minute. Pray, meditate, whatever. But be who you claim to be. That's of utmost importance. That's what America needs desperately. Is people to be who they claim to be. With that, guys, especially you truck drivers that were being pressed from all sides, and it's so easy to get mad and fly off the handle. Yeah, I just want to encourage you guys and challenge you. Be the professional that you want to be treated as. See, we want concessions as professionals, but we got to act it. That's the only way we're going to get it. We have to act it. We have to prove by our behavior, by our conduct, by our bearing, by our character, that we're worthy of being treated as a professional. And that comes with rolling with the punches and still being respectful and professional to people, even when they were the ones that caused the problem in the first place. So with that, I'm just going to ask you, be professional. Have a little grace. Have some character. Keep the rubber side down.